What is up, gamers? We are back once again, and today we are going to be going over making a build around the worst exotic of each class. Starting off with Titan, I chose Mech 44 Stand-Asides. Now, a lot of people are probably going to say that, where are they? Any swords are significantly worse, but do you know how hard it is to make a build around these things? Like, the only thing I could find that actually worked with this is maybe concentration and a slide shot grenade launcher. Like, it was just impossible. And these things are so horrible, they shouldn't even be considered an exotic. Like, I decided not to use these because they would be awful content. I mean, that's just the truth. So we went for the second worst, which was this awful thing. So what this thing does is it grants you a pretty small overshield when you sprint with full health, and you have to have a shoulder charge equipped and charge. So it has to be full charged, you have to have full health, and you have to have one of those equipped for a small overshield. Like, that's crazy. And then hits with these abilities recharge a portion of your melee energy. I mean, like, whatever. Like, it's just so bad. And since the fact that these literally exist, like, why would you ever use Stand-Asides over Peregrinds? Peregrinds literally destroy things. Like, these things are amazing. So, yeah. And, okay, so what we're using this build with is Tractor Cannon and Void with Sentinel Shield and Shield Bash. So what we use with Shield Bash is Controlled Demolition to make it apply Volatile, Echo of Exchange to get melee energy on kills, Echo of Leeching to get health regeneration on kills, and since this thing suppresses, it activates Echo of Domineering, which grants increased mobility and reloads your weapon. So, basically, why am I getting so many update notifications? Basically, this melee alone suppresses, makes them volatile, grants increased mobility, and reloads your weapon. If you get a kill, it starts health regeneration and grants grenade energy. So, lots of stuff there. So, I really maximized what you could do with the Shield Bash. So, I really tried to make this like a really aggressive build, like Shield Bash, Tractor Cannon, Vortex Grenade with Echo of Undermining is really solid, Bastion for overshields, and Sentinel Shield is actually not a bad super if you know how to use it. So, that'll be all for this, and we will be showing damage clips of these builds. I don't know if I was using these exact two weapons in the clip, but I know I was using Scatter Signal. I don't know if I was using Zowlies. I might have been using Recluse. Yeah, but roll that clip. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die Thrall. Thrall are killing me. I'm done for. How did that almost happen? Oh, I tried. Tried to use the melee, but of course it wouldn't. Okay. I'm taking that. Let's go. And we are on to the Hunters. So, the build we're using here is Wormhusk Crown. Originally, I was actually using Geminis, but I got Wormhusk Crown, tried them out. I thought they would be better, but they are awful. Just awful. And a lot of people say that Raiju's Harness is the worst. Like, people hate on this thing left and right, but honestly, I liked it enough when I tried it. I would use this if I'm using Arc Staff. I masterworked it. Like, I actually kind of enjoyed using this as, like, a fun basic build. I really did. So, I don't know what's going on with people there. I know it's not, like, meta, but it's not even that bad. So, Geminis, yeah, all they do is disorient, so I just really thought that would be, like, a weak option. But Worm Husks, I thought they gave more health and shield than they did. Like, when I actually tried them out, the health it gives is abysmal. Like, I thought this would be a way to, like, save yourself in a bad position, but it just really wasn't, and that's why I switched it over to these, because, yeah, it was just bad. So, the build we're using with that is, once again, Tractor Cannon as an aggressive build. You gotta be up and close to dodge, and we have Winter Shroud to maximize dodge usability. And then we have Stylish Executioner, which goes perfectly in common with Winter Shroud, so you can dodge in a group of enemies and then kill them to activate Stylish Executioner. I got Grapple, and Withering Blade is really good with Stylish Executioner for more invisibility, and Grapple's just a really solid thing overall. Also, Storm's Edge is pretty solid, so yeah, I just went with Storm's Edge because I thought it kind of fit the playstyle of this build. Because, like, Golden Gun, Silence and Squall definitely don't. Tether definitely doesn't. Silk Strike maybe, but I don't know. So yeah, that's what I went with. I was using Scatter Signal, but I transferred it back to my Titan. That's why it's not here. I did have Tarnished Metal on, I think, though. So yeah, that is the build. This one I actually did have pretty fun using, so I'll roll that damage clip. Let's go. Alright. Oh, this is good. I'm feeling it. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was so good. Only, I'll take it. And finally, last but not least, we get to the Warlocks. This is one that I enjoyed surprisingly much, and I've actually been using it in casual content on my own. I just think it's a pretty fun build. So, the exotic is Skull of Dire Ahamkara, and holy is this thing bad. It requires you to use Nova Bomb, a notorious damage super, for ad clear. Yeah. Also, it provides a very minor benefit of increased damage resistance during Nova. Now, I will say that damage resistance is ridiculously high. Like, it goes, according to DIM, it goes from 99.5% to 75%. That is extreme levels of damage resistance. But you have to realize that the Nova Bomb animation is like maybe 2 seconds? Probably not even 2 seconds, like 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds of extreme damage resistance will probably not save you from anything. But, you know, it's a pretty interesting benefit on the helmet. So the big thing here is Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. Now, that requires a playstyle that uses your super for ad clear, so your damage rotations do have to be a little funky. Luckily, in the environment I was in, testing it on Phyresia in the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, I could get supers back very, very fast, so this build actually kind of shined in that scenario. And I was actually able to crank some pretty good DPS out of this. So what I was using with this is Bad Juju, because of the reason that, so you're gonna cast Nova Bomb into a bunch of ads, you'll get a decent amount of super back. Like, usually it's around 25 to 50% of your super, from what I've known from testing it. And then you clear the rest of the ads with bad juju, and it's likely you'll have a super back in about a minute. Like, a minute is actually insane. And then I paired this with a reconstruction bait and switch grenade launcher. This thing has actually been one of my absolute favorite DPS weapons, just because it's really, really fun to use. I have an amazing roll on this thing. I got disorienting, envious, and reconstruction, and bait and switch is monstrous roll. Like, I love this thing. So, when this comes back into the rotation, I don't know if it's in the rotation right now. It might be. I haven't really caught up with Nightfalls, but if this comes back into the rotation, really farm this. I really enjoy this grenade launcher. And then I used it with just any solid rocket works. Like, I went with an autoloading cluster bomb royal entry just because this is like a really nostalgic rocket launcher for me, so I really like this thing. And yeah, that's just kind of what I went with. For the build, we just went with Nova. Nothing else really matters. I would build more into damage, though, since you do kind of have to use your super for ad clear. So I went with Vortex Grenade with Facet of Dominance to maximize that. I also went with, like, a bunch of survivability stuff, like Mending, Protection, and Blessing are all, like, survivability stuff is really good. Feed the Void and Helion are just solid combo, and then Facet of Courage is really, really nice for boss damage. So, that's kind of what... Wait. I just realized I have Facet of Courage, but I have no way to, That's funny. I have no way to debuff with a different... Switch that over to Bleak Watcher. Well, actually, you know what? Whatever. So, yeah, that's what I was using in the clip was this build right here. So, I guess I didn't get the benefits from Courage, but whatever. You guys will see the clip. I actually kind of did pretty good damage with this build, so I was kind of impressed with that. Roll that clip. Come on, dude. Bro, I was cranking. Oh, we're taking that.